very glad to be here, and I can actually refer to what Malte says in the beginning, and yeah, pretty excited standing here in front of real people on a real stage. And you can compare it a little bit to going on the first date after lockdown. You're nervous, sometimes you don't know what to wear, but I guess we all figured it out somehow. And sometimes you don't know what to talk about when you are face to face, but I guess we will figure it out today as well. Yeah, I'm here today with Sarah. Sarah is working in the corporate communication at Hirschen Group, which is one of our customers. She will introduce herself in a minute, and also the topic and the company. I took the chance to come up on stage as well to just give you a brief introduction of myself and COYO, so that you maybe are able to better understand what Sarah is talking about in some parts of her presentation. So yeah, my name is Mathis. I'm working in the marketing department at COYO, and we at COYO empower employee communications, and we are building we built a social intranet and a social employee app to connect and engage with your employees. We are founded 11 years ago in Hamburg. So a German company, of course, hosted in Germany, which is sometimes pretty important for some of the companies. And we call ourselves as a digital home. So when we are talking about remote work, but not only after the pandemic or while the pandemic was going on, but also before, if you have like companies with different area or different cities or different departments or subsidiaries, you need some overlaying digital home, and that's what we are going to do. And if you want to find out more about us, about COYO, just drop by. By accident, my colleague looked actually the same. He's just in the back. So if you see someone with white sneakers, blue shorts, and blue shirt. If it's not me, it's him. So just talk to us. And I would like to make the switch a little bit to the presentation or to the topic of the presentation. When talking about change, digital transformation, there are a lot of different parts influencing this change. On the one hand, of course, there's the culture, which is Sarah talking about a little bit, and also the topic of knowledge. So is knowledge shared? How is knowledge shared, especially during a remote kind of situation? The same goes for communication. You have to communicate with your employees to make sure that everybody is going in the same direction when it comes to change. You need that topic of collaboration. You may have to make sure that the leaders are also supporting your change and driving that change. And there are definitely many more of that topics. And now it's your turn, Sarah. She's going to tell us a little bit how the Hirschen Group managed all these topics.
Thank you so much. Also, warm welcome for me to this. For me, it's the first network event since 1.5 years, so always on remote, so it's nice to see you and nice to have an exchange later. And welcome to this small lecture about corporate culture, how to achieve collaboration. My name is Sarah Albrecht-Fuhrmann. I'm working for the corporate communications team of the Hirschen Group. The Hirschen Group, the so-called home of the brave, is a platform for creative entrepreneurship. We bring together people who want to develop freely, entrepreneurially, who want to unfold their entrepreneurial potential, and for those who think that's great. Our various communication and consulting brands are offering consultancy for the creative transformation of digitization, of communication, as well as public opinion. Founded in 2005, the Hirschen Group is one of the largest owner-managed agency groups in Germany. Around 800 employees in different cities, as you can see on the map, in the north of Germany, in the south of Germany, but also in Vienna, in Belgium. We are also there. We have 8 different agency and consulting brands in the DACH region. There on the top you can see how they're called. It's Fawn, Trafo, High Employer Strategies. But you can also have a look on the website hirschengroup.com to get more information about this. As an independent agency group, we are also part of the global communication network WPP. This has some benefits for us, so we can always connect to different experts internationally. And of course, we also have a culture that was talked before. The other speaker talked. Our corporate culture, our corporate values are empathy, tolerance, respect, courage, braveness, freedom, trust, as well as transparency. We believe that only those who can develop freely and creatively can be successful. We believe that success and profitable businesses are fun and give the opportunity to develop freely and creatively. We believe in total creativity. That's a synergy of new work and creativity. But not only in times of crisis, we work agile and self-determined in terms of the matter in the company. The most essential component of companies are people. People need people. To use the wisdom of all, and we call it collaboration, so that everyone can contribute in this culture. Everyone can share the ideas freely. Every suggestion is important, and exchange and depth of ideas are expressively allowed. This doesn't mean that we copy campaigns from other agency, but it means that in an exchange, when someone has experience about something, that we copy this experience and create them in a new way. Not like copy-paste completely in the same way how they did it. And critical questioning is also encouraged. At any time, even if there's something that we have already said, we always go into exchange with our employees. But what does it mean to be collaborative? I was trying to find different definitions on the internet. Collaboration is, it stands for. So collaboration means cooperation and interworking between employees of one or more organizations or different teams toward a common goal. But why to collaborate? Why is it so important to think about collaboration? Collaboration promotes cooperation between individuals on the one hand, and strengthens the interaction of internal or external cooperative units like groups, like teams, like partnerships, areas, and corporations on the other hand. If teams are working together on the development of solutions or the commercialization of goods, cooperation is always based on individuals and on the competences and expertise of the employees. So people need people. But collaboration also requires willingness, attitude, and diverse skills that is important to develop a common understanding in order to make the cooperation good, possibly effective, as well as efficient. So we, the Hirschen Group, see ourselves as enablers, as networkers, as knowledge pool, trend researchers, as well as collaboration analysts. Translated, this means we try to bring the right people with the right skills at the right time together and try to equip them with the best knowledge possible and tools are needed so that they can get stronger together. That's our core. That's we are focused on connecting people, not only externally, like me, for example. I also do external communication. The most important fact are the people in the company. So we try to connect them to give a big tool of experts that have different expertises, different competences, and to make it to communicate freely so that the people can take it when they have the need to talk a person. And so we go straight to 7 tips for successful collaboration. It's a little bit based on experience that we have made. It's not like that every tip counts for everyone or is valid for everyone or needs to be copied. The first tip, I think I repeat myself, is focus on the people. People are a company's most important resource. Companies cannot survive without the knowledge, the willingness to collaborate, the curiosity, and the innovative ability that characterizes people. In order to focus the human, a respectful and honest and mindful cooperation is required to make the employees feel comfortable in their working place, feel valued in their workplace. Second, define your purpose. What is your mission? What is your vision? I guess you all know how to define purpose, why a project is existing, for example. It represents the initial ambition and the so-called red thread of a project. Third, establish realistic expectations and set goals. It's also connected to purpose, but also to meaning. What is the project about? Who is working in which way? When and why? Where and which tools are needed or used before? Only if there is meaningfulness, it can work over long term. Only if there are goals, it can work over long term. Achieving common and appropriately defined goals have priority. But here group goals are more important than individual goals. Four, transparency. Communicate clearly and distinctly. Continuous internal communication creates openness and transparency. The participation of all employees should be actively encouraged. That's what we try to communicate at all time. We are thus signaling that participation is valued. Fifth, pick the right tools needed. Culture has to be lived, and it needs a place where it becomes visible and where information can flow continuously. For us, there's currently no better way in our decentralized structure than to promote collaboration between the various communication consulting brands by creating internal platforms and formats that are available for the more than 800 employees. Our social intranet based on the COYO software and the different formats that we have created internally promote the creativity and the dynamism of the entire group. On our social intranet, the so-called Horst, we communicate internal as well as external activities, important informations and news that have to be spread. For example, some weeks ago, we offered vaccination for all of our employees, and I needed a place to send these messages, to have the news, so where the people can contact the different people whom to address when they have questions, how they can fulfill all the documents that are needed, and what do they need, as an example. We also try to make the people behind their projects visible. Campaigns are cool. We can celebrate that our campaigns are really successful, but actually the people behind these campaigns deserve the success, so we try to give them a stage. Horst is a continuously available knowledge database because cross-brand exchange is not only effective in times of crisis. Our slogan here is learning from each other. The more we are networked with one another and can access a common knowledge, the more successful we can be as a whole. This also supports a strong sense of community that also expanded over Microsoft Teams that we used to work with even before the crisis. Hashtag product placement. Point 6. Make opportunities to socialize. So here we are on a network event to socialize. The personal exchange is an important factor. Communicate more frequently and proactively with your team to avoid uncertainties and to strengthen the team spirit. For a more personal atmosphere, one-to-one conversations can also take place during a walk outside despite remote work. What we do in my team, we always have a daily check-in. We shortly say how we feel today personally, so that we know how to interact with each other. Maybe someone has experienced something bad the day before, and we can react on this and give support or something like this. So this supports an open culture to be open in what you're saying and communicating. And last but not least, working out loud. Celebrate team success publicly. If people are working out loud, their work becomes visible, more effective, as well as fulfilling. They start to work in a more self-organized and networked manner. So the entire corporate culture is becoming more open, more innovative, as well as collaborative. So the final message is that trust is only created through personal exchange, and knowledge and creativity are promoted. We try to communicate as much as possible to our employees through different channels, through our social intranet host, through a newsletter, internal formats that we have created. Internal and external activities, important informations, we try to keep them updated. We offer support, not only support in the meaning of the work background, but also when it's about mental health, a really important topic that, because of the crisis, came up. And one of our most important channels is Horst, our knowledge database, where we keep everything saved and available. We send out a weekly newsletter to our employees, to all the people, to 800 people, to keep them updated and tell them whom to address when they have a problem to be solved and when they need support. We have learned that exchange is not only effective in times of crisis when it's about remote work. So the more we are networked with one another and can access a collective knowledge, the more successful we can be in the end. Thank you.